Hi guys, this is Deb with Total Traction Trading. Thank you so very much again for joining me as usual. This is the kickoff of a video that I will be having once every week. It's kind of a weekly wrap-up to let you know what happened in the last week and what you can look forward to happening in the coming week as far as economic reports, Fed minutes, stock indicators or whatnot. So I'll look forward to hearing from you. Please subscribe, like, comment, and then I can talk about what you want to know. So I'll be looking forward to sharing this with you on a weekly basis. Now, what you have in front of you here, this is the Dow. And as you know, the indexes, and at least the S&P, had its strongest week in 2024 over this past week. It was just, like I said, great news that came out on the inflationary front. So everything retraced from all that downward activity we had been seeing. Nike even has had its best week since the last 8 years. NVIDIA, which is a chip stock maker, you probably heard a lot of chatter about chip stocks. Well, NVIDIA, they had lost some ground over the last couple of weeks as well, and they retraced. So it's like I said, the volatility has just been through the roof. However, the VIX. The S&P VIX came down quite substantially too over this last week, which kind of tells you the volatility is the fear at least has kind of subsided a bit. So anyway, let's get to this Dow chart that you see in front of you. As you know, I always put the Fibonacci retracements on my one-day charts anyway. Sometimes I'll even do them like on a 1-hour chart, and I'll be sharing some of those things with you as we go forward. I'm working on a Fibonacci retracement and extension video that I will be sharing with you, kind of give you a little more in-depth information on what to watch for on the Fibonacci. So look forward to that. Now the Dow, like I said, we had quite a swing high and a swing low, like we saw on both of the S&P and the NASDAQ, which I shared with you before. The 3.382 level, which is the yellow indicator here, we saw some hesitation at that level before it continued up. Now this is the 0.50 level. Now that's not really a Fibonacci level. However, it is a very probably more of an emotional level for traders. You know, you figure that it's going to be a retrace on a 50%. Oftentimes when you have an economic report that immediately comes out, you'll see a knee-jerk reaction, whether it be up or down, and then it'll usually retrace to that 50% point. So that's just something that's very, very prevalent, something you always watch for. Now the 0.618 level, this is often called, this is kind of the golden ratio. You figure if it continues up above that 0.618 level, it will continue. So that's a very, very common place to look for when we're looking at our Fibonacci's. Now the Dow, on Friday, it hit the 0.786 level. Now, so I'm going to be watching that. Now, if it continues above that, if it can close above that 0.786, I expect that it will continue higher. It might even meet the all-time highs. We'll see in this next week if it'll do so. Depending on what's going to be announced this week, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you see over on when you look left from that 0.786 level, you'll see we might fall into a bit of resistance here. So we'll be watching. Okay. Another thing I want to share with you, now I've been watching also, and I trade often the currencies, whether it be the euro or the Australian dollar, the British pound. Now the US dollar has had 3 weeks of losses. So as you would suspect, then we've seen some other currencies that have gained in value. Now with the Fed, I want to tell you that this week we have the Fed meeting minutes that are coming out on Wednesday. They won't be making any rate adjustments, but it will be interesting to see, to read about what the attitude is. You know, will they be dovish or hawkish, as they like to say? Will they be stating that, yes, we have had a soft landing, which might be indicative of some rate decreases, hopefully in September, of a quarter or even of a half a point, which would cause a further decrease in the value of the dollar. So we'll be watching that, and that's why I'm showing you here. This is the British pound. This is on this side here. This is the 1-hour chart, and you can see I have a Fibonacci here. Now the British pound oftentimes correlates very substantially with the indexes, primarily the Dow. And you can see, according to this chart and the Fibonacci, that it very much resembles that of the Dow. So we'll be watching both of those in the number of days to come. Now on this side over here, this is a 1 hour chart on the British pound. I have a trend line that I've been watching. I have a 20 period exponential moving average, but this highlighted chart pattern here I wanted you to be aware of. I'm also working on a video to go over some chart patterns, candlestick patterns, wedges and such. This particular pattern is a falling 3 pattern. We had an extended range, very bullish candle here in the green, and then we had 3 retracements down. But it never closed below that first extended range candle. It moved back up, and then once it closed above it, look at the momentum that carried that through. So it's fun like I said, this is a favorite of my candlestick patterns. It seems to jump out at me every once in a while. And it's something that you should also be aware of when you start learning and studying your charts. You'll have patterns that you really identify with and you watch carefully. Some patterns, they're not as evident to me. You hear a lot about a head and shoulders pattern, and that one just, I don't know, it just doesn't appear to me very clearly. I have to really look for it. So anyway, be aware of your patterns. Look at all of your different indexes, your currencies, whichever you like to trade, and get familiar with them, how they react, their personalities. Are they better on a 1 hour or a 4 hour chart possibly? So be aware. Like I said, we have a big week coming up. We have the Fed minutes on Wednesday. Then they go into the Jackson Hole Symposium in that weekend, and we have the jobless claims, and initial jobless claims, and the continued jobless claims coming out on Thursday. So a lot going on, as there always is. We also have some earnings coming out this week. We'll see some retail earnings. I think there's Lowe's, Macy's, Target. So again, like I said, watch the sector and see what might impact. See how that might affect what you're trading. So always be aware. Thank you. And remember, trade with traction, not distraction. And subscribe, like, comment. Love to hear. Thank you so much. Take care.